Hey guys, hope you're all well. Another discussion that's come to me many times from my students is about the array of programming languages that they're presented with. When you go into coding, you are presented with too many programming languages. Java, Python, C#, C++, C, Pascal, Ruby on Rails, PHP, 60 million JavaScript frameworks that exist right now, mobile application development. The question is, what do you do? Which one do you go for? When there's so many pathways open, which one do you go for? And no matter how much you filter them, you'll still find about 5 or 10 in your way. Then people come to coding chamber, and the guidance we usually give is the following. So what we know about the programming languages is that every programming language has its benefits and disadvantages. So for example, Python is very good for data science. For data science and Western data, Python is very good because it has a whole ecosystem of libraries to do that. Java is very good when it comes to microservices. So applications that you want to start off and then branch out into many different components, Java Spring Boot is for that. Then let's say you have interactive UIs. You have your front-end development, JavaScript frameworks for that. Now you can divide an application up into two parts, front-end and back-end, or client-side and server-side. And these many programming languages have their own duties, have their own like benefits and drawbacks. It's like cars. You've got a BMW, you've got an Audi, you've got a Bentley, you've got a Rolls Royce, you've got a Corsa, you've got an Astra. But they all pretty much do the same thing, which is you sitting in them and driving to a destination. But some may get you there faster, some may get you there slower, some may offer a better drive, some may offer comfort, some may be for luxury, some may just look better. That's the difference between these programming languages. On the front end, you'd have languages such as HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and the various JavaScript frameworks. What's big on the market right now is React.js. React.js who are backed by Facebook. Then you have Angular, and then you have many other frameworks to do JavaScript on the front end. That's just a front end. Then on the back end, you'll have things such as PHP, you'll have Node.js, you'll have Java Spring Boot, Java Spring. You have all these things on the back end. Then you have things like Ruby on Rails, you have programming languages like Go, and they all have their own particular uses. Now, if you were to ask me, let's say if someone was to blatantly ask me, Sharon, which programming language do you think I should learn first? My advice is always learn Java, because I learned Java in the beginning, and that gave me the best head start on all programming languages, because I was able to learn Java and I was able to go forward and apply all the things that I learned in Java to all the other programming languages I learned. Java and Python I would learn together. So I would learn Java first and I would learn Python. Python's very good for data science, but Python is a backend language same as Java. Why am I saying learn that? Because if you want to learn coding in its essence, then Java and Python are perfect. If you want to learn front-end and back-end development, that's different. What do I mean by that? Now, coding would be understanding and going through and learning about how code actually works. So you'd have many different ways of doing that. For example, object-oriented programming, functional programming, imperative programming, all those ridiculous words. Now, let's say I've started off with Java. I would learn if statements, I would learn what constructors are, I would learn what objects are, I would learn what classes are. All this stuff is the foundation of how the rest work, because all the rest of coding is based upon these things. Now, if you start off and your foundations are strong, the rest will be easy. So if you start and the foundations are weak, you will be facing trouble everywhere you go. From my own experience, I can tell you that I started off learning front-end development. I did a front-end development course when I was in my second year university, because university wasn't really doing the best job of teaching me coding. Or maybe I was just a bad student, I don't know. When I finished university, I was doing a project in React Native, which is obviously a JavaScript framework, but I'll be honest with you, it wasn't the best code in the world. And then I didn't really learn coding properly until I got to Infosys. And in Infosys, I did an entire course in Java programming, and that's when literally I thought, well, you know what, I know my stuff now. Because after that, I felt confident in coding. Before that, I was just like going 100 miles per hour in whatever direction I can see. So my advice is, if you want to learn coding, figure out a roadmap for yourself. The roadmap that we have on our website in our courses is first Java, then front-end development, and then learn how to make a crude application. Because we are trying to get you ready for employers. What employers need is not someone that knows a lot of programming languages, someone whose foundations are solid, and then after that, somebody who's able to prove that they know what they know through experience, building projects, and then gaining results for organizations. Guys, we've got a Java crash course going on. On the 22nd of May, we have a Java crash course happening where we will go 5 days through Java, live coding session for all of you guys to see. We're going to go through Hello World, we're going to go through constructors, we're going to go through objects, classes, we're going to go through all of this stuff, and we're going to go through it within 5 days. 5 days, 4 hours each, Monday to Friday, and the cost for the first 10 people is £500, and for everyone else is £750. If you guys want to get a head start in Java, That's what I'll go for right now. At the end of this video, I'll include a interview that I had with a student, and then you guys can see for yourself what people feel about coding chamber. But guys, for programming languages, I would advise to start off with a coding language, a programming language that'll give you the best foundation, such as Java and Python. After that, learn your JavaScript, learn your HTML, learn your CSS, learn your everything else you want to learn. I'll start off with the four programming languages that gives you the best foundation. So forget all these millions of pathways that you're saying, go for one, Java or Python, or Java and Python. I'll start off with Java. Go into Java, take a left, go into Python, and after that, you'll actually understand the possibilities that are in front of you because you know what you want to do. Well, you know what you want to get into. The web development, mobile application development. For mobile application development, you have Xcode, which is Swift. Swift is a different language. And then you have, that's for Apple development, that's for Apple mobile application development. And then for Android development, you have Java. But then you have React Native, which is a JavaScript framework backed by Facebook that does it all in one framework. That's for mobile application development. Then you have front-end development. You have Angular, you have React. React is basically HTML, CSS, and JavaScript in one, JSX. And that's front-end development. And then you have Angular. Then you have all sorts of other JavaScript frameworks if you use Next.js and all sorts on the front end. Then the back end, you have Node.js, you have Spring Boot, you have PHP, and you have many others. It's up to you. PHP has many frameworks that deal with different things. That's up to you. But guys, I would advise starting off with Java. And if you guys want to start, at the end of this video, I'll provide a interview between me and one of my students about what they think and everything, what they think of Coding Chamber and why you guys should get on board. And in the description will be the link to where you can buy that, or where you can buy that crash course and come on board. I recommend it to everybody to start off. Yeah, guys. So thank you very much for watching this video. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Goodbye.
My name is Emmanuel Apato. I'm a second-year student of software engineering at the University of Bedfordshire.
So, Mr. Emmanuel Apato, so first question I'd like to ask you is why Coding Chamber? Why did you think about Coding Chamber aside all the resources out there? Why Coding Chamber?
Okay, well, on the internet you do have access to learning resources and you can learn anything. But with Coding Chamber, you are offered a structured curriculum, builds you up from zero knowledge to a position where you can build projects where you have confidence, and you have a community of people that are in the same position as you, and you can build yourself up alongside them.
Okay. Question number 2, Emmanuel, is what transformation have you seen in yourself from before you joined Coding Chamber till now?
Okay, well, 6 months ago, I hadn't joined Coding Chamber yet, and I had zero knowledge in programming. Although I was a second-year student in university, I didn't actually know anything about programming, ironically. Now I can say I'm comfortable in tackling projects. But when I'm looking at websites, if I have the source code, there's nothing I look at there that I don't understand. I feel like I do not know how to approach learning. Like, from joining Coding Chamber, I feel like I've developed the skills to learn things, or to learn to teach myself in the aspects of like what I've learned, essentially.
Okay, and are you going to come to the crash course next week?
Yeah, of course, 100% I'm going to come to the crash course next week, because although I do have knowledge in JavaScript and web development, I want to learn a more traditional programming language like Java, and it's the most widely used one.
Why would you pay £500 for a crash course for Coding Chamber when you can get the same stuff online for free?
You can get the same stuff online for free, but you can't get it taught to you at a level that you understand.
Okay, what do you think of the Coding Chamber ethos that we don't make you feel stupid while you're learning? Have you ever been made to feel inferior or stupid while learning in Coding Chamber?
I've never been made to feel stupid or inferior learning anything about Coding Chamber. Any questions I have, I feel like I can ask.
And how's it been learning from Coding Chamber in contrast to learning from university, programming in particular?
Okay, when I'm learning programming at university, these teachers have been teaching the same syllabus for years at a time, and the content that they teach is outdated. Like with computer science, everything is progressing, everything changes day to day. With Coding Chamber, I feel like what I'm learning is bleeding edge. Like, it's what's being used currently. The things he's teaching, like the frameworks he taught us, is what's being used, is what's demanded in the industry right now.
So, Emmanuel, imagine I'm a student. I don't know, I'm a 17, 18-year-old student. I've just finished college and I want to go into programming. Do you think it's worth me saving up and spending or borrowing £500 to pay for this course
Do you think it's a good idea?
I think it's a very good idea.
And why is that?
£500 in comparison to a £9,000 university degree, I feel like I've gotten more value from this course and from the guidance of Coding Chamber. Coding Chamber has evidence, like there's evidence backing them up in that like they have students that have gone on to succeed and gain internships after finishing courses. I think the £500 that you're putting in is an investment into yourself, because the value you gain after putting those £500 in, you become more valuable to employers.
And how long did it take you to think about signing up to the crash course when you were asked and you were invited to it?
I didn't even have to think about it. I've already been on his courses before. I already know the value that there is inside of me. I know it's more than £500.
You make it sound very magical. Why is that? You make it sound like there's no other, like you make it sound like, I'm just thinking from an outsider's point of view, you make it sound as if you've achieved too much from this place. Like, what's so good about it? Like, what's so like interesting? Like, what's the difference between learning from him and learning from, I don't know, getting tutoring done or something? I don't know. Like, what's so good? Like, what's changed in your life ever since you started?
Well, before I was directionless and I had no idea how to progress.
What does progress mean?
Progress means improve in a direction,
Okay.
make progress, well, make steps, measurable steps towards a goal, a
Okay.
destination.
And you feel like Coding Chamber has taken you to a new direction?
I feel like it's taken me to a new direction, and I feel like it's put me on track to actually succeeding in the field.
Okay.